I'm going out to eat 4 times over the next 5 days, which is like kind of my client's nightmare. But here's how I'm gonna handle it and not freak out or have any issues with the scale or what I order. The first things first, I never arrive anywhere hungry. I always eat before. And no, this doesn't ruin going out to eat, it makes it better. When I'm hungry, like starving, I make irrational decisions too quickly. If I have food in my belly, I make better choices. So what this means is, regardless of when we're leaving, what time the reservation is, I always have something in my stomach. I'm never going in super hungry. That way, by the time I get to the restaurant, by the time we're actually served food, I've made a slow, logical decision based on the nutrients that I have not gotten in yet for the day, and I will be better set up to not just binge and eat everything in sight as well. The second thing is I never drink alcohol. I do not drink alcohol anymore. I think it's been about 2 years, and this quite simply has made going out to eat, first of all, so much less stressful, but so much less anxiety producing for me, because I don't have that will I or won't I question every time I'm going out to eat. Alcohol changes how I make decisions. Alcohol used to give me permission to just say, screw it, ignore my goals, ignore how I want to feel, ignore what my body actually needs. And on the other side, it would make me feel severely anxious and depressed for up to 3 days after consuming. So alcohol is simply a no for me. I have recently gotten into mocktails, but my family and I are all wearing CGMs, and unfortunately, even mocktails are filled with a lot of sugar. So at this moment, I kind of make a judgment call. Do I want to have about half of a drink? Do I want to ask to make sure that it's not overly sweet? But whatever it is, I know that I do not need a cocktail, a mocktail, or anything to enjoy myself, be present at the table, or make my meal out more worthwhile. The third thing that I do, and honestly having 4 dinners in 5 days helps with this, is I do not approach any of these meals with scarcity mindset. So 3 of the 4 restaurants I will have not been to yet. That doesn't mean that I need to eat everything in sight, try everything, or eat crazy amounts of anything to properly enjoy myself. Now, I will be clear, being dairy-free and sometimes gluten-free does help, because immediately some of what my family will order will not be for me. But also, since I have severe digestive issues that have still gone undiagnosed, I'm just generally a little more picky about what I'm choosing to put in my body, and I don't process fats very well, so I get severe cramping and pain if I eat anything that has too much fat. So once again, this kind of naturally will help me eat more slowly and be really specific about what I choose to have a few bites of, and anything that my family orders that is just not really a fit for me, like a cheesy pizza or cheesy pasta, I just pass on. And frankly, it takes a lot of the stress away from like, will I or won't I? And so if you do have concerns or restrictions like that, use them as a pro, not a con for you. My next piece of advice is to always ask and realize that the worst case scenario, the worst answer is that they will say no. So I always ask if my food can be steamed, broiled, or otherwise very plain without oil or butter. Obviously, I do not consume butter because I do not consume dairy. Now, some of you are going to listen to this and say, well, that's no way to live, or that's deprivation, or that's restriction. But it's not for me. I genuinely loved 2 nights ago when I got a steamed piece of mahi-mahi, 2 pieces actually, and a plain baked potato. I woke up the next day and felt fucking fantastic. That is very similar to a meal I would make myself. Yes, it was not exploding with flavor, and if I was home, I would have used fresh herbs, maybe a little lemon juice, maybe even chicken broth, but that's what I need to feel good. So I am super specific and aware about what I need, and I do not compromise on that. So I don't view it as restrictive. I view it as I get to have my cake and eat it too, right? I get to dress up, wear a cute outfit, I'm in Miami after all, and still eat what I need to feel my best and wake up the next day and feel and look how I want to feel and look. So this is not restriction. These are my standards. Now, not every restaurant will be able to do that. Steaming food, sometimes they just think you're going to write them a bad review, or I don't know what the problem is, but you do your best, and the worst thing they can say is no. you ask for dressings on the side, sauce on the side, and that if you do want to be a little more careful, for things to be as plain as possible. You don't have to do this, obviously, but like I said, for me, that is what helps. If you are going out somewhere and there's something that you really want to enjoy without any of those specifications, you 100% can do that. But for my clients, the volume of their eating out, if they're going out too many times a week, and you're approaching every meal as extremely scarce, extremely rare, and like you're gonna have FOMO if you don't eat everything in sight, that is not healthy either. So you need to find balance and be realistic. I am all for going out. My husband and I used to have date night every Friday, and we would go, I would order literally exactly what I wanted. Sometimes that would be a burger, sometimes that would be gluten-free, dairy-free pizza. Like, I'm not saying that I don't have those moments. What I am saying is, if I have to go out to eat a lot, I am going to be more particular about what I consume, and that's how I make it work without worrying about the scale, without worrying about honestly really anything else. It's just a meal, and you have to have this abundance mindset. You cannot go into these situations with scarcity, because that is what causes us to make decisions that we regret. And frankly, I would rather eat a plate of plain food and wake up the next day and not still be obsessing about everything I ate, how messed up my stomach is, or maybe the fact that I didn't poop, all because in the moment I made a choice that I now regret. So when push comes to shove, you have to have high standards, you have to be real about what you need, and you should not be compromising on any of those factors.